Hi, Sharon. um, oh, let me go online. Oh, I'm stuck all the time. Maybe try and close it down and restart it. Maybe it will be better. If not, then it's me. I don't know. Unless somebody else mentions it. I assume it's your connection, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, that's better. So, on my back. So the kids are still wide awake. Maybe you can hear it. It doesn't really help in summer or spring because it's not very dark yet, so it's still light. So it encourages them to stay awake. But I've moved the intercom into the kitchen so it's not so loud. So you shouldn't hear it as badly as loudly as normal. So I do these broadcasts every Thursday evening at 8:30 when the kids are in bed, but not asleep. 8:30 p.m. Thursday evening, and Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. when the kids aren't here. So that's why I go live. You can ask questions live during at those times. And you ask questions through Skype. And my Skype is Rebekah Maroon. So just friend me on Skype. You can ask questions, either written questions, or you can write to me and say, can I call you or can you call me? And I'll call you live during the broadcast. That's Rebekah Maroon. And I'm not going to be here this Sunday, this week Sunday. I won't be here, the 28th of April. So I'm back on next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. again. And next Saturday, which will be the 5th, I think, of May. I'll just check that. It's the 5th of May. I'm doing a closed group of an online talk with up to 5 people. And that'll be 2 till 4 p.m. So if you're keen to be involved in that, then you go to rebekahmaroon.com and you can see how to join up to that online meeting. So non-duality isn't something that I think about. So we'll just sit here for a few moments and let the introduction come out, and then you can ask questions about non-duality. So I love the spontaneity of this. I just love the just the nakedness of it, the honesty of it, the vulnerability of it. See, there used to be this movement, this energies movement, this energetical. I tend to think in. I can't really. I tend to think in like feeling images and feelings. So I have to then convert that into language. I can't always do it, but this feeling of hopping along like a movement, this energetical hopping along, this movement that was strong, this strong movement that was heading somewhere. And it had so many ideas, so many things it was holding on to, so many things it knew to be true and right. About the past and about the future. And there was just this heavy investment in that, what the future held, what the past held, and what the future promised to hold or offer. And it really wasn't a thought, it was an energy. It was more than a thought. And it needed so much. It needed so much. Because it felt lost, lonely, it felt vulnerable, it felt scared, it felt confused, unsure what was going on, unsure of the truth. Unsure of the right or the wrong interpretation of things. It had come from a past and it was heading to a future. It felt so alone. So alone. And it deeply wanted to find something or someone so that it wouldn't feel those things. It wouldn't feel alone. And it really felt like that something was out there. And it really felt like if I found that something, that someone, then I would be truly happy. And then I would be truly fulfilled and whole and complete and loved. Then I would be at peace. And I could finally rest from this striving to find it. Once I found it, it would result in I can finally rest and finally feel whole and finally be at peace. I can finally stop that journey, that looking, that seeking. But what I'm talking about in these meetings and talks what I'm pointing out, I'm just pointing it out. I'm not doing the work for you because I can't. It has to be seen. It has to be seen by that human. But what I'm pointing out, I have to really emphasize that it has to be seen by that human. No speaker can do this work for you. So what I'm pointing out is that that which is being looked for in time, in form, in other, isn't found in time, in form, in other. And it will never be found in the world, in the manifestation. That rest, that freedom that is being looked for is what this is. Is that which can't be found in a limited form. That which isn't moving. That which isn't appearing. It isn't appearing in form. So then how can it be found in form? How can it be found by the human? If it isn't in this manifestation as a thing, then it can't be found by a human. So therefore, what I'm talking about is a discovery or a revealing which happens beyond the human, beyond that character. There is freedom and rest beyond that character, beyond the human. But while the energy is appearing in that human, they will be seeking to find it in the manifestation, in the form. In acquiring more and more stuff. And that has to be seen, how the human is seeking, how it believes it will find something worthwhile in form. And that is a painful thing. So if the rest you are looking for is already here, then what is happening in the human? What does it believe is out there for it? What is it looking for? What is it seeking for? What does it need to feel loved and fulfilled? Why does it keep jumping back on the wheel of its own story? What's in it for it? What's it addicted to? What's it hoping for? And this really has to be looked at. You can go around quoting non-duality for like a lifetime. This has to be seen. What are you looking for? What are you seeking for? What is missing? What is wrong? What is hurting? What is lacking? So I don't really know what I'm talking about. But there is something that changes. There is a shift or a changeover that happens. From being something moving in time, seeking, looking for fulfillment, looking for completion, looking for love, to that I can't put into words. I don't even want to put it into words. I think that's it. So yeah, you can ask questions. Hey, Sharon. It seems like there's like this. It seems like there's like it seems like there's like this. Well, I don't know how to call it, but it seems like whenever health sort of drops, afterwards there's like a backlash. Is that a story? I'm just moving my laptop. Is that a story? Like it seems who I think I am comes with its best fears and stories to pull me back in. That's all it seems like. Yeah. Yeah, there can be a dropping of that illusion, and then it can be quite a strong return of that energy with heavy stories and heavy contraction. But it feels like that's been there for however old you are, like many years. That addiction. That's how the humans been operating with that energy in it. It's been claiming to be someone for a long time. And it's picked up so much stuff. It's claimed so much stuff. That for it to just drop like that, it's kind of I've heard it can happen, but that would leave the human really disorientated and really like, it would really be a difficult experience for the human. So it seems to be for a lot of humans a gradual thing, a seeming gradual thing, where there's glimpses or periods of their just being life happening without someone in life, just the raw experience of life, and then that addiction, that habit, that energy comes back, claiming everything, claiming its story again, claiming to be someone in time. And it will claim, I had it, I've lost it, all these sort of things. But who is that character that it feels it is? So it's claimed to be a woman. It's claimed to be this, be that. But who are you? Are you an actual permanent fixed thing? What happens if you think you are a fixed permanent thing? Then what happens to you when you're laughing, or there's pain in the arm, or you're having an orgasm, or you're sleeping? If you're a permanent fixed thing, then you would always be. What happens to you when you're looking at the sunset or looking at the ocean? When you're playing with friends or children? When you're watching a movie or listening to music? When you're eating your lunch? What happened to last year's problems? Last week's problems? Or when you wanted something so badly last month and now it isn't here? That wanting isn't here. That problem isn't here. Maybe there's a new want or a new problem. This is innocence. This is emptiness. Appearing as form, appearing as the changeful, appearing as a flow of appearances, moving and changing. What's happened is an energy is formed. And it's living in that flow. It's claiming that flow. That flow to be a reality. Claiming the appearances to be true and real. And that causes the suffering of the human. That you are something changeful, moving. How can you find peace and rest in the changeful? in the temporary. How can you find love, unconditional love, in that flow? You think you have something, it changes. What doesn't change? And that isn't a question to that sense of you, that changeful you. You couldn't possibly answer that question. All you can talk about is the flow, is changeful, is movement, is form. Whatever I speak of, you will put into form, into things. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah. For me, it's not so much the search for something, but wanting to lose, especially guilt, feelings, control and separation. Also a search in a way. Yeah, that definitely is still looking for something. Yeah. Want to get rid of feelings and yeah. You want to get rid of them because it feels as if you have them. If you didn't have them, you wouldn't want to get rid of them. You don't have them because you feel as if you are someone and you claimed things because you're so sticky. Everything sticks to you. You've claimed those things, then you want to get rid of them. So who has them? That's the question. Who's this one who feels them as if they have them? To have those things, you must also be a thing. You must also be an appearance, a form. It's just a misidentification that happens in humans. There's something here which isn't a thing, that doesn't have anything. Regardless of feelings and thoughts and experiences. It doesn't hold on to anything. It can't. This isn't about that sticky someone unsticking things from it and becoming free of these things. It's the discovery of that which hasn't never been sticky. When that energy is there, it can only interpret it as it's about me becoming, me getting rid of, me changing, me this, me that. But this is the wonderful thing. This is a discovery of what already is free. It's not becoming free for you. It already is free. It can't be any other way. And it appears as everything. It appears as not free. But the suffering is when there's an identification or an energy going into the not free, as that is me. That's who I am. And it isn't a thought. It's just a dream reality that happens in humans. That gives the impression that this is happening to someone, that you are the looker, that you are the thinker of thought, you are the feeler of feeling, that you are the experiencer of this world, of this reality. And then what can happen is this message can be heard, and there can be something wakes up, or I don't know, however you want to say. There's a changeover that seems to happen gradually. But it never can be gradually. Because it was never happening. It just seemed to be happening. Thank you, Heal. And don't worry if you don't understand this. If the mind's, if the mind's going crazy trying to understand this, it never will. You'll get ideas about it, but that won't be it. but it really isn't important what thought is interpreting it as. It really isn't important that the thoughts, what thoughts are saying. They're like leaves blowing in the wind. They're not the truth of things. They're just thoughts. Just thoughts. Okay, so I think that is it. So yeah, just as a reminder, I'm not here on Sunday, but I'm back on Thursday. So yeah, love you. Have a good week. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.